Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Really appreciate you taking out time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Helps out a lot, so thank you in advance. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about a mascot for a soft drink that got a video game. And no, we're not doing PepsiMan. He will not be featured on any of these videos. Talking about Cool Spot. For those of you who do not know who Cool Spot is, this was the mascot for 7-Up. So like 7-Up and Sprite became like the soft drinks for young people, right? 7-Up's motto was the Uncola, which I think is a very terrible motto, but that's what they was rocking with, so that's what they called it. But you know, to give you an example how Cool Spot starts off, you see it, because I don't know if it's male or female. I'm assuming it's male, but we would never know. But it is surfing on a bottle of 7-Up, and you can't hear it, but it is surfing to the theme of Wipeout, you know, so that lets you know how they wanted to connect with the youth back in the 90s. But anyway, the game itself it's simple, but it's more solid than you think it is, right? So it's a platformer. Each level you need to collect at least 60 cool spots to free one of the actual cool spots. So I guess it's a race of cool spots. I have no idea. But I remember renting this game back in the day and being like, all right, what are we in for? Because there was always like a crapshoot. Like nowadays, you can pretty much guarantee that, you know, games that are licensed are usually terrible. And to this point now, we really don't get as many. But this game was surprisingly decent. Now, the thing is, it starts to do one of the 90s staples, I say, for games where it starts off kind of easy and then all of a sudden just like ramps up the difficulty because it's a platformer, right? But you do have the ability to defend yourself, which is something a lot of these games did not do. Like the Chester Cheetah game, I don't believe you could actually do anything but run and jump. But this game, you know, you can shoot out 7-Up bubbles at things. And, you know, the controls are actually pretty good. The only thing that's weird with the controls is that Cool Spot seems to jump faster than it walks or runs. So it's better to just kind of jump around everywhere. And then also you only have to get like 60 of the spots, but there's usually like 100 of them in the game, or each per level. But the cool thing is if you decide to collect like as many as you can generally get like an extra life, which is always cool because you're gonna need it. But you know, you go through different levels. You start off on the beach, you go into like a ship, then you're in like an attic, and you know, you're like in I guess a toy room, and you know, you go through all these different levels. And I mean, there's no actual point to the game other than you wanted to play a game featuring a mascot of a soft drink. So that's what it is. But, you know, this is a game I rented a handful of times because it was always, you know, it's a solid game. Like I said, not great, but definitely solid, but also kind of odd. And, you know, mascots don't really get games anymore, but there's also like very few mascots left in the product placement world. And this game actually got a sequel. Now the sequel was more of a parody of movies. It was Cool Spot Goes to Hollywood, but it was weird because it was like 3/4 isometric and the controls were kind of weird and it just wasn't as good. This game is just, you know, it's a jump in and play type of game. Not too much thought needs to go into it. Grab the controller, jump in, try to beat the levels, rinse and repeat. And for me, especially back then, that's really all I was looking for. If it was, you know, we had our RPGs, we had our blockbuster games like the Marios and Sonics and things like that. But every once in a while, you know, you had $5 and a weekend to spare. You get a game like Cool Spot, and you can have a pretty decent time, at least in my opinion. So I wanted to shout that out because that was part of my gaming routine is grabbing one of these types of games and hoping for a good time. And in this case, I had a pretty good time, you know, at least until I started losing on towards about halfway through the game where the platforming gets really difficult. So I wanted to, you know, give this a shout out and also remind you that PepsiMan will not be getting a video on this series. And if for some reason he does, don't hold it against me. But as always, I appreciate you letting me reminisce with you. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Peace.